Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another breakfast with Blaha, and today I'm having steak and mixed vegetables. All right, let's talk a little bit about macros. And one of the reasons I don't discuss nutrition a lot is that it's even more controversial than training. Anytime you discuss nutrition, everyone wants to ignore common sense, they want to ignore science, they want to ignore research, they want to ignore the leading information we have in sports nutrition for whatever their dogma is. Oh, saturated fat is amazing. Salt is amazing. Vegan is amazing. Carnivore is amazing. It's always whatever, right? Whatever their stupid, idiotic, moronic, brain dead fucking bullshit is. And it is. Every bit of that is brain dead, moronic bullshit. Carbs, fat, protein. Everyone acts like your exact macro count's the most important thing, and it really isn't. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, other than controlling certain amounts of water weight, hydration, inflammation, fuel, things like that, your macros themselves don't matter that much, barring minimum proteins. Right? They come down to personal preferences, and I'm going to go so far as to say that food content and quality matters more, and here's why. Because we're looking at things like vitamin absorption. Can you get all your vitamins, all your minerals? Is your diet sufficient to absorb them? All right, what's the amino acid profile look like on your proteins? Are you getting enough fiber for optimal metabolism, gut health? Because we need those things. We've got to think in terms of gut biome. So everyone gets hung up in carbs, fat, protein. And here's the thing. They're largely interchangeable. So what do you need from them? Protein. Now everyone wants to know, how much protein do I need to gain muscle? A hell of a lot less than you need for optimal other benefits. The most protein intake in studies that has ever been consistently found to improve muscle growth is 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. All right? For me, that's how much? 158 grams. Because I weighed, the moment, 217 pounds. I mean, I'll probably weigh a lot less by the time this video comes out. Who knows? All right? 158 grams of protein. You don't gain any muscle beyond that, barring maybe enhancement from your protein. Oh, there's satiety benefits, thermic effect benefits, metabolic benefits, recovery, tendon health, right? Tendon's a big one, tendon inflammation. Are those things affected by higher protein? Yes. But if you're talking purely muscle growth, where are we at? 1.6. It's not very much. That's the most that's been found other than in Eric Helms' data, and I've seen minnow tear it apart. Even preserve muscle mass in a deficit. How many carbohydrate do you need? Amount to fuel your training, which isn't very much for most of you. Most of you guys are not running 5 miles a day. I don't. So I'm not picking on you guys. You're not doing that much training volume. People say, well, the weight room burns carbs. Yeah, it burns a little bit. We don't burn that many calories during the lifting. The actual lifting itself, we might burn more between sets than we do during the actual lifting. And again, a lot of you guys out there, you're not moving anywhere near the tonnages that I move. Watch my workouts. Start looking at how much total weight I move, particularly in a lower body day. You're like, well, he did 20 or 30 sets of 10 reps. Some cases doing it with weights you guys can't even do for a 1 rep max. How many calories you think that really burns? A couple hundred? A couple hundred? What is that, 50 grams of carbs? 50 grams of carbohydrate, plus some that your brain needs. Here's the thing. We can convert all of our surplus protein into carbs. So we start asking, how much carb do we need? Do we need 50 grams? Do we need 100 grams? What are we needing? Me personally, let's assume I need about 100 grams. All right. I train very high volumes. How much of that can I get from my protein on top of it? If I were to only eat 50 grams, if I eat excess protein, that's going to convert to glucose. Technically, some of your fat can. See where we're going with this, guys? So what if you need 3,000 calories a day? What have we come up with? About 1,400 calories. Actually, I just lied. Not even that. 1,000 calories. Probably my minimums. How much fat do we need? We don't know. The researchers say because fats are not one thing, we don't actually know. It's not like glucose where it all turns into glucose eventually. Different carbs, all that. There's different fats. We benefit tremendously from getting certain amounts of omega-3, a certain amount of omega-6. Those are essential. Then we get into, are we dealing with ALA or we got EPA and DHAs, which is a precursor to, so again, we're dealing with things that we need optimally. Well, usually you end up supplementing some of those. Most people aren't going to get those from diet unless you're eating certain things. Optimal amounts. Which will affect your training, recovery, muscle growth. Fat-soluble vitamins. Big deal. And also important on the recovery side. Some fats are pro-inflammatory, some are anti-inflammatory. How does that affect recovery from training? You see again where we're going with this? So what do we need for fat? We don't know because you have certain amounts of fat that you need from specific types, and you could eat 5,000 calories of fat of the wrong types and still not hit those numbers. That is extreme, probably not going to happen, by the way. So please don't say, oh, Blaha is saying that. I went and did some math and he's almost wrong. I could eat pure heavy cream and still reach those numbers because of the trace amounts. Okay, maybe you could. I haven't done the math. So, realistically, what do we probably need? 50 grams of fat, if they're the right types. We can probably get all of it, but again, you got to get them from the right foods that have the fat-soluble vitamins too. But, maybe 50 grams. So where are we at again? About 400 calories. You can put 1,400 calories for an active lifter who needs 3,000. What do we do with the other 1,600? Well, you better count your macros. I don't know. What do you want out of your diet? We can go back through and look at all three of those, and we can find benefits of some type, possibly, from filling any of those calories with others. But we also get into things like inflammation. Do these things affect insulin sensitivity? So on and so forth. So again, it's coming back over to what's the content and quality of the food. Okay. This matters a hell of a lot more than how many grams of carbs versus fat and maybe even protein that you got. Okay. Focus on food quality, hitting your target numbers, then worry about the nuance. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.